A very good morning to you out there. Welcome back to my channel, Talk with Unyan. My name is Unyan. Today's video is a continuation of our Never Marry series. Now, before I go ahead with what I have in mind today, I want to remind us that I believe in the institution of marriage. I believe marriage is a wonderful thing, it's a beautiful thing. Like I always say, it's an awesome thing. And it is an institution that was created by God for the advancement of his kingdom. Yes, because even we, between God and ourselves, is a marriage. It's marriage. So it shows the union of marriage. Yeah. So yeah, I believe in marriage because when people hear you and say never marry, they are always wondering, why is this person saying so? Now I'm very passionate about these things because, and I always say this, you can get anything wrong. This is not to say that you should go about getting things wrong. You can get everything wrong in life, but never get marriage wrong. Never get marriage wrong. Why? Because this is something that is meant to last a lifetime. That is meant to be shared with someone very important and someone very special. This is an institution that was not made or created to be broken. This is an institution that was not made or created to create chaos. This is an institution where God, in his infinite mercy and kindness, wanted to express and to show order. Yes, so if you must get this institute, if you must get marriage right, I have been talking about certain questions that you should ask yourself. And today's question is the deal breaker question. The deal breaker question. A lot of people go into marriage for many reasons, for many reasons, you know, but reasons that are just so crazy. They're so crazy. And I want to remind us that if we practice marriage, this is the major reason why we have a lot of troubled marriages today. Troubled marriages today. If we practice marriage the way Christ, in his infinite mercy and kindness and love, has guided us through his word, that we should practice marriage in this way. If we practice it in that way, we will barely have broken marriages. We will barely have problems in our marriages. But you see, the wickedness, the self-centeredness, the selfishness, I will emphasize the selfishness of human beings and the inability to compromise in certain ways and to just be able to love the way Christ has said we should love. That self-centeredness of man, that wickedness, that selfishness of man has made marriage look like one horrible thing to many people. One bottleneck. I will emphasize one bottleneck. It's like a bone in your throat that you've not been able to cough out. Yes, that is the reason why marriages are troubled today. That is the reason why people suffer in marriages. That is the reason why things don't go the way they are supposed to go. That is the reason why we give birth to children, and when they also get married, you start seeing problems, you start seeing issues, you start seeing things that, so these things are very important, because when you decide to get married, part of you also want to have children. For those who want to have children, and you ask yourself this question: what kind of generation of children do I want to breed? What kind of generation do I want to breed? How will their marriages be? What values am I instilling in them to have a good and prosperous marriage? So this is a very critical aspect of life that we need to be very conscious and deliberate about. We need to be very conscious and deliberate about. A lot of people go into these things for many reasons. So if you must go into marriage for the right reasons, you must ask this question, the deal breaker question. The deal breaker question. Yes, because even God understands that life can happen, things can happen, and there are certain values and certain things that people cannot bulge on, they cannot give up on, certain values and principles that you just cannot compromise in life. So when you get married, if these things now surfaces, it's a deal breaker for you. So the person you are intending or wanting to get married or settle down with, you need to have this conversation with this person. You know, people don't discuss issues. You don't, when you say you want to get married, what you are feeling at that particular point is the euphoria and the excitement and everything, and the, you know, the gym that comes with the marriage, the excitement that I'm going to be a missus, I'm going to be a married man and all that stuff. But we don't ask this critical question. Questions that will challenge the institution of marriage. Yes. One of this questions is the deal breaker question. The deal breaker question. And we all know what a deal breaker is. This is something that can cause something to end. When something happens, can cause something to end. When you decide that you want to settle down, this is one question. One question you also should ask. You also should have a conversation about your partner. Don't shy away from this important question. Don't do it. A lot of people run away from these things. Don't do it. This is something that will play an important role, that will solidify your union. Because so that your union will be based on the foundation of mutual respect, mutual understanding. The deal breaker question. Are there things that you cannot budge on? Are there life principles that you have that you cannot compromise on? These are things that you should discuss with your partner. Have meaningful conversations. And this is one conversation that you must have if you decide to get married. Open, mutual, civilized conversation about these things can prevent future bumps. When you have a conversation about these things, it will prevent future occurrences. It will also put your partner, and whoever it is you want to marry, in the know. Okay, this is who I want to marry. This is what this person is very particular about that may cause a problem if I end up doing these things. So if that thing, for instance, now happens, God forbid, this person knows that we had this conversation. We had it, and I told you. I did tell you, I cannot stand this. This is what I cannot muster. This is what I cannot bear. I told you. So it's not going to be war. Your beliefs. Questions about how do you guys deal with your finances? How do you guys want to raise your kids? What values do you want to instill in your children? You know, these are questions. And if you're not saying these things, it's a deal breaker for you. And for instance, I cannot stand cheating, and if I ever find you cheating, it's a deal breaker for me. People have things that they cannot stand, that they cannot muster, that it will break them into many million pieces if these things happen to them, and all they just need to do is it's just a deal breaker for them. We must respect these things about individuals. It's not them being anyhow, or they're like this or they're like that. There are people like that. There are people, because of certain things that happen to them, they will just commit suicide. I'm not saying that is right, but we also need to be very conscious. We need to be very deliberate about life and about marriage, because it is meant to last. Marriage is meant to last. We're not supposed to be having kids here and there. We're not supposed to be getting married and remarrying and marrying. You know, it's not right. It's not just okay. You get. So we must have these discussions, meaningful conversations, the deal breaker marriage, so that when it happens, at least you say, oh, but we had this discussion. We talked about this. I told you I couldn't handle this. I can't handle it. You get. So these are questions you need to ask. You need to ask. This is a question you need to sit down with your partner and discuss about it. And when you do these things, it helps your marriage. Your marriage is built on a foundation of love, mutual respect, understanding. You guys have an understanding. It's very important for you people to have an understanding. Don't just take the excitement and the and the joy and all those feelings that comes with being married and all that. Don't just take it that is how marriage is. Marriage, I say, is work. It's hard work. It takes a lot of effort, but it is always good that you are there's an understanding in the marriage. There is a clear, concise understanding from both partners. It's very important. I don't know. I hope I've been able to instill something today. I hope you've been able to learn something from this today. So I'll see you guys in my next